funny, but one time I went and preached 2 services at a church. Okay. So I get there and I'm preaching like the morning, like they have like a 10 a.m. and 11:30 or something like that. So I get there at the 10 and I preach this message, and it's like you are the danger. Like it was like, that's what it's called. You know what I mean? I just talk about like your authority in Christ, and what you are called to, and like go and change the world. And like, it's just this epic message where I'm like yelling half the time and people are just like, this is awesome. So I preached that first message, brought down the house. It was awesome. The Lord just like moved throughout it. It was so phenomenal. I'm like, Jesus, you are here. This is awesome. And then I'm in worship, for the next one. And I'm like, all right, God, like I'm ready to preach this again. Like, this is good. And he's like, I want you to go preach that message on forgiveness. And I'm like, no. I'm going to go preach on forgiveness.
I want to preach on
but also it's like, dude, like I don't know if you've preached a full message and like the tiredness that happens. Like they say it's equivalent to an 8-hour workday. Like when you preach a message, like just everything emotionally and everything that happens into it. And like, this is something we don't talk about too, but like you are not just preaching to the room and to everybody that's in the space. You are preaching to the supernatural that are there as well. Like you are preaching, there's other things that are going on that we don't see that's going on. So you are preaching to more than just the room. And so it's just heavy, and like the emotional and this and that, all these different things that happen. And, you got all this stuff that's going down. And so, so then I go to the second service, I preach on forgiveness and like all this different stuff. And like, it was really good. It was really powerful. I didn't prep that one. Like, it's a message that I preached like 3 months back. But he's like, I want you to preach that one. And so I preached it. And then afterwards, like, the pastor comes up and he's like, why'd you do that? Like not in like a bad way, but he's like, why'd you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I just felt like the Lord was telling it. And he's like, it was really, they were both really good, but that first one, that was really good. Like he just said it like that. And it's because it's a different style. Sure. Like, it was just a different style of preaching. But the story that came out from it was there was a kid that came. He was like 21, came to the first service and was like, this hit him between the eyes. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to whatever. And he had like a pretty on and off again relationship with his dad, and like things weren't like whatever. And so he's like, you know what? I think my dad will really like this guy. I'm going to text him and get him to come to the second service. Begs his dad to come. His dad says, fine, I'll come. And then he leans over to his son at one point and he's like, you really bring me here to listen to a message about forgiveness?
No, Dad.
That's not what it was. That's not what it looks like.
Cool.
And he's like, but it's like it was a
needed.
catapult in their relationship. It was something that really, like, they look back on that moment as like,
That's
wow.
so cool.
But it was just like crazy. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But it's like, man, that's just
so cool.
obedience is a big thing, man. It's
Obedience.
definitely a big thing.